Every ministry and nonprofit raises funds, inviting people just like you to join their mission with their time, talent, and treasure. Because Benchmark is a completely mobile adventure ministry, we needed a fundraiser event that's a physical challenge, calling people to an adventure and helping them to see what they are made of. For 26 years, the Chuck Wilson Memorial Backpack for Benchmark has been that effort. I've hiked 4 Chuck Wilsons on some of the most beautiful parts of the Appalachian Trail. Chuck was a Navy sailor with a minister's heart and a mountaineer's zeal, who loved experiencing God through the beauty of creation. With a growing interest in Benchmark ministry, Chuck found himself on a hiking team for our annual backpack, October of 1998. On April 24th of 1999, during his 18th skydiving jump, Chuck's parachute didn't function properly. Chuck Wilson is honored as a friend, a fellow struggler in the Christian faith, who was very honest about who he was and who he was trying to be. Chuck didn't quit on the backpack for Benchmark. It's how he lived all of his life. This year, Crystal Grove came back again for a Chuck Wilson Memorial Backpack for Benchmark. Before the hike, it's about getting physically prepared and raising funds. After the hike, it's about recovering and raising funds. But during the hike, it's about caring for each other, serving each other, and encouraging each other to do something that's hard. It's taking a few days to step out of normal life and into creation, into whatever weather and challenges come our way.
Hi, my name is Crystal Grove. I'm from Greenville, Illinois, and October 2020 was my 3rd Chuck Wilson hike for Benchmark. When I started out in 2016, I really just did it because I knew and loved Chuck Wilson. I loved it, had a great experience, met James and some wonderful people on the hike, and so I was able to come back again in 2018 and then again this year in 2020. This year things took a very different tone for me on the hike. Always before in preparation, James has mentioned to us to embrace the solitude, to use the time in nature for reflection, enjoy the quiet. And so I decided to really focus on that aspect of the hike this year, because it is many, many hours in silence and in solitude and in the great beauty of nature. So I decided this year to devote that time to very focused and specific prayer. In November of 2019, one of my friends lost her husband to cancer. His death came just 3 months after his diagnosis, and he was 43 years old. He left behind his wife, Carrie, and 4 children. So I decided I would devote this hike, this trip, to praying for her and her children and her family. So I wrote her a letter and I told her, I wear my Fitbit when I'm hiking, and it gives me a little vibration every time I pass a half mile. So every time I feel that vibration on my wrist, that's going to be my reminder to pray for you. So each half mile that I took on the trail was devoted to prayer for a different member of their family, and over and over and over again as we walked. And depending on how difficult the climb was at the time, it would be a more eloquent prayer or more of an inexpressible groaning. But that time was well spent in prayer for Carrie as she goes through these difficult months coming up on the 1-year anniversary of her husband's death. So Benchmark this year took on a different tone for me, but it's amazing that it was not only beneficial for my life to connect that physical and spiritual struggle into one. It benefited the soldiers who are going to see the profits from this fundraising go to help them and through this ministry. But it also benefited Carrie, who's never even heard of Benchmark. But those hours that I spent in prayer for her, I have faith are going to touch her life in a powerful way. So I'm thankful for Benchmark and its ministry, and so thankful for the opportunity that I've had to be a part of it.
Crystal has backpacked 127 miles, joining 3 hiking teams, and has raised over $28,000. Givers just like you donate so that Benchmark can continue to say yes to the opportunities God provides. There is a lot more going on during a Chuck Wilson than just backpacking. Adventure provides a setting to learn about ourselves, creating memories at a known point that sticks with both the participants and staff. The locations and activities change. The purpose does not.